next part of the videos we're going to have a look at adding some materials just to create some colours. This is just to start to give us an asset that we could use, and I'll show why it's actually quite useful having the reference materials in these windows. So if we go to the materials properties, as you can see, this has got default material on that's already been assigned, and we can start with this material. This is not a problem. So what we can do is we can go into edit mode like this, go into faces, and we can actually start to select some of the faces that we might want to have in the shading group that we're going to create. So I'm just going to select around those. That's this bit here. And what I'm going to do is create a new material. So I click the plus button here, which creates a new material slot, and then I click plus here to create a new material. I'm just going to name this as our, let's call it the paint, and then just get O, and we're going to give this a colour relevant to this. Now what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to actually steal the colour on this. Now there's a couple of things that we can do as well. So for this first bit I'm just going to steal the colour. So I'm going to go on here, click on this, click on the little plus icon sign, and then I'm going to steal the colour that I want. So let's say we steal, let's do that again, this lighter colour. I like it on this one actually, it's better. And we apply that. So the paint is now got the right colour on, but it's not actually attached yet. We do that by clicking assign, and then we go into our shading mode, and you can see that colour is now assigned to that part. So we can go around and select a few other bits. Now I'm just going to add a Control R. I'm just going to slide a controller into this, probably about there, and press E just to slide that up. There we go. And this, I'm just going to take some of these points and just move some of these points down. So I want this one and this one. So let's just grab those with Shift selected, and I'm just going to press G twice, and then we can slide that down the vertex edge. So let's do this with this one as well. Just slide that down. It's just to just to start creating some interesting colour groups that I might want to use. So this one, and we slid that. We didn't slide that one down properly. So let's do that one and that one. Just slide those down. This one and this one, and slide that one down. So it's just really to start reshaping a little bit. We could do these as well on this side. Just pull those, and then these at the bottom. Just pull those up, and these could be relaxed as well. So this is just so I can just select some of these faces, and I'm just going to grab these two, slide those up, and pressing just the G twice allows me to get that back into face mode, and then we can actually go in and start just shift selecting. If we press the Alt key, we'll actually get the edge loop as well. And then we just click the material we want, and we click assign. There we go. So we've got those assigned. So that's looking pretty cool. And then we're going to go up through here, just up and over the top. So let's just select those with Shift, and those with Shift, and let's come down the back and select that material and assign. So we've started to just really get those materials moving around the object and just assign. And we can actually just assign that as well. So that's given us the colour. It's like I missed one there or two. And we've now got a bit of an object going through that, which looks an object that's got nice colours. It's very similar. We're sort of starting to do stuff. So this is just using base colour. We could go into the shading mode, and we could start to add some interesting material things to it. So for instance, in the base colour we might add a colour ramp in here, plug this into the colour. Well, before we do that, let's just get the hex number from this. So we'll just copy the hex number, go into here and paste the hex number. This is the right orange, and then I'm going to drop that into the base. Let's put the hex number into this one. And let's just drop this down a little bit so we've got a different colour. So that's sort of going all right. There we go. And then if we add a noise texture as the factor, and then on this I've got node wrangler attached. So I've got, if I go from the object, I can actually generate some interesting patterns. So this, if we were looking at that original sort of camouflagey type thing, you can see that that's now on there. We've added a little bit more interesting detail, so we could change the scale, maybe change the detail up a little bit more, so a bit of detail coming through, drop the scale down. There we go, and we're starting to create some interesting material types. And we could do a similar thing for the other material. So on this material, we could actually create a similar thing. So for instance, let's go back to our modeling layout, and inside here let's just grab that colour, and we want the sort of yellow. We've got that colour going, and we could do a similar thing. So we could go back to shading and we could add a colour ramp, and we could take the hex key number, drop that into both positions. So drop it in there and drop it in here. Just take this colour and make it a little bit darker, maybe a little bit more red side. Drop that into the base colour. Let's Shift A to add another. This wants to be a noise. Just trying to think then. Drop the factor in, Control T, and pump this from the object. So by doing the object stuff, what we're doing is we're not relying on any UV mapping. So it's pretty straightforward. Now we might decide that we want to add another material in here. So we'd go into object mode, edit mode, go plus, create a slot, create new. Let's call this fan. Let's make this grey. Something like that, and let's select those centerpieces, and we'll just assign that, and again on the other side, and we'll assign that, and this just to break it up really. Now obviously, because we're using the actual vertexes, we can actually still move these around, and we're actually changing how the material is spread about the object. So selecting these two on this side, just using Shift double G, sorry, and then that's just helping us to change the shape of that. So we've created that. Now on the actual originals that we had, these are textures. So we'll go into textures in the next bit, but that was just an example of how we can add materials and change the colour and add a bit of interest to those materials as we're coming around the object itself.